In this breaking story, MSNBC's Joe Scaraborough lashed out at two of Trump's nominees on a specific topic, and it's not something that I've heard mainstream media address before, at least not with these two positions that are vital to our national security, and I have the breakdown, including the words,
"That's a lie. It's a total, absolute lie,"
for you next. In this first clip, Joe connects the dots between national security and a concern that all leaders worldwide should have. And on the other side, he specifically targets two of Trump's stooges who could destabilize that very thing.
What does this say to other countries across the globe? What does this say to the markets about the rule of law? There's a reason why our stock market is the envy of the world. Our economy is the envy of the world. There's a reason why people are leaving the London Stock Exchange and coming to the United States. There's a reason why businesses from all over the world are coming to the United States. It's the rule of law. You don't have to worry about things moving and changing and the rules and the laws changing depending on who's in office.
So that clip established Joe's concerns. Specifically, he was talking about the negative consequences that Trump's picks for national security positions could have on the global economy. And the first nominee that Joe drops a bomb on is Trump's pick for the FBI. Have a look, and then I'll show you the pick that he goes nuclear on and accuses of lying.
Somebody like Kash Patel, who said, "I have an enemies list of 62 people, and I promise you I'm going to arrest journalists, and I'm going to get them criminally or civilly, whatever it takes." That's Orban. That's exactly what Orban and Putin has said they're going to do. Let's look at their economies. I wonder how that would work for the United States of America once that happened the first time.
Two thoughts. Rule of law is the proverbial oxygen of a society and an economy. And you don't notice it's missing until it's missing, by which point it's a little bit late. So it is. It's essential. It's foundational to all that we are. Second of all, one would have thought if you were the FBI director, you've got enough real challenges on your hand. We still have terrorism to worry about. Indeed, we could have more terrorism to worry about, given what's going on, say, in Syria, potentially. Right. Last I checked, we have serious crime problems in this country. Last I checked, we go down and down and down. Corruption issues. So I would think the FBI director has his hands full without going after journalists.
When you want somebody in the FBI that actually knew how to run the FBI and actually had experience on how to do all of these things?
Well, I think that's one of the common threads here with this, with Hegseth and others. Put aside character issues and the rest. It's just a question of whether they have the necessary background.
No normal person has an enemies list and brags about it, and no normal president picks a person who brags about having an enemies list to lead the FBI. But extremism is running rampant in the Trump camp, and that brings us to his insane pick of the unqualified Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense. Watch as the Morning Joe team takes a blowtorch to Hegseth's words and lies, and how his appointment has the potential for global damage.
If destabilization of the rule of law, whether it's through the Department of Defense or the FBI, hurts the economy ultimately, that's not good for the incoming president.
Well, it's terrible for the economy. It's terrible for the stock market.
It's terrible for America.
For America. It's also a challenge to American capitalism if you destabilize constitutional norms and you destabilize the rule of law.
So Pete Hegseth's lack of experience for a position as significant as defense secretary is raising questions about his views on the U.S. military and its role at home and abroad. Peter Bergen, a national security analyst for CNN, went through Hegseth's book, The War on Warriors, which was published in June. Bergen writes the book is an odd mix of slogans and unsupported assertions about the purportedly Marxist and woke U.S. military. It is 228 pages long and has no footnotes and few facts to back up its claims, some of which are dubious at best. Hegseth's book is also silent on the big issues that a future Secretary of Defense might have to face, such as the Chinese possibly invading Taiwan. Meanwhile, the New Republic outlines Hegseth's prediction that the military may have to mobilize against U.S. citizens in a civil war.
And here it is.
Hegseth writes, America will decline and die. A national divorce will ensue.
Very patriotic.
Outnumbered freedom lovers will fight back. The military and police, both bastions of freedom-loving patriots, will be forced to make a choice. It will not be good. Yes, there will be some form of civil war. In another section, Hegseth writes that our present moment is much like the 11th century. We do not want to fight, but like our fellow Christians 1,000 years ago, we must arm yourself, metaphorically, intellectually, physically. Our fight is not with guns yet.
You have a guy here in a book that is saying that America is on decline and dying. That's a lie. It's a total, absolute lie. Our military is stronger than any time since 45 relative to the rest of the world. Our economy, the envy of the world. I was overseas this weekend. I can tell you, everybody wringing their hands, asking why they can't be more like America. Our allies across Europe, just looking at our strength economically right now. And no member of the Senate that thinks Pete Hegseth has what it takes to run the biggest, most powerful, most complicated, most Byzantine bureaucracy on planet Earth. Nobody, no Republican in the Senate believes that. So how does he get 50 votes?
The extremism of Patel and Hegseth cannot be documented anymore at this point. Everyone knows exactly what Donald Trump is setting the table with. And as a result, we are looking at a significant test of our democracy with the hearings and confirmation votes to come. As president, Donald Trump welcomes the opportunity to make political life difficult for Republicans who do not fall into line. And with the learnings from his first term and an attitude to go scorched earth with nothing to lose, it will be amplified in his new term. And as if his power-mongering corrupted soul wasn't enough, he also has the financial backing of Elon Musk, who has threatened to back the opponents of anyone who opposes Trump when they come up for re-election. If enough Republicans find their backbones and vote with integrity to oppose these unqualified extremists, we will know that a sliver of intellectual honesty remains in Washington, D.C., and that's something to build on. But if they bend to the will of Donald Trump and confirm his unqualified and unfit nominees, we will 100% know
that was a disaster.